Good evening. Tonight, we turn our spotlight on one of television's most beloved and era-defining series, Stranger Things. For nearly a decade, it has blended supernatural horror, 1980s nostalgia, and the raw emotion of growing up into one unforgettable experience. And now, as the fifth and final season approaches, the world is preparing to say goodbye to Hawkins, Indiana. At the Los Angeles premiere of Stranger Things Season 5, Noah Schnapp, the actor who grew up before our eyes as Will Byers, opened up about what this emotional ending means. He described the season as bittersweet, both thrilling and heartbreaking, as the cast faces the end of a journey that began when they were children. With Vecna looming one last time, and the fate of the world hanging in the balance, Schnapp called this final chapter the most special season they've ever filmed, a perfect mix of love, fear, and nostalgia. Speaking to Extra on the red carpet, Schnapp shared that this season feels like the culmination of everything they've built together. It's exciting to share it with the world, he said, but obviously very hard to say goodbye. Those words carry the weight of a decade spent living and breathing the world of Hawkins. For Schnapp and his co-stars, Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Caleb McLaughlin, and Gaten Matarazzo, the show wasn't just a job. It was a childhood. They've gone from nervous newcomers to global icons, all while maintaining a bond stronger than friendship, almost like family. Returning to set, they all knew this was the final ride, and that knowledge made every laugh, every scene, and every goodbye behind the camera mean just a little more. Noah described the filming experience as something unlike any season before it. Coming back and knowing this was all we had left together one final time really helped us become the closest we'd ever been as a cast, he said. Behind those words is the quiet acknowledgement of how Stranger Things has shaped their lives. A show that began as a small sci-fi experiment and grew into a cultural phenomenon. This season, he explained, carried a sense of reverence. Even during exhausting shoots or emotional scenes, the cast felt united by gratitude. Every moment felt important, Schnapp noted. That closeness shines through on screen too. Fans can expect performances charged with genuine emotion, because for the actors, it truly was goodbye. Of course, every ending brings tears, and Schnapp didn't shy away from admitting who cried the most. With a grin, he confessed, "Probably yours truly." It was an honest, heartfelt moment that reminded fans just how deeply connected these young actors are to the story. He added, "It just goes to show how special it is to us, because it's hard to let go." That sense of loss reflects what many fans are feeling as they prepare to watch the show end. For audiences around the world, Stranger Things isn't just another Netflix hit. It's part of their personal history. They grew up with these characters, fell in love with their friendships, and faced their own fears alongside them. The cast's emotional goodbyes echo the audience's own sense of farewell. Looking back, it's hard to overstate how much Stranger Things changed television. When it premiered in 2016, no one expected a show inspired by 80s pop culture, Dungeons and Dragons, and supernatural horror to dominate global streaming. Yet it did. For Noah Schnapp, who was just 11 when he first appeared as Will Byers, the journey has been nothing short of transformative. He recalled one defining moment from the early years, winning the Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Ensemble. That was really like, "Wow, this is a dream come true," he said. It wasn't just validation for the show's quality. It was proof that their little story about friendship and monsters had touched millions. That sense of awe and gratitude has stayed with him ever since. Now the story that began with a boy lost in the Upside Down is coming full circle. In Season 5, Will Byers will once again play a pivotal role as the battle with Vecna reaches its climax. Reports suggest that this season is darker and more emotional than ever, exploring grief, sacrifice, and the consequences of power. Will, once the victim, has become the emotional core, a quiet strength amid chaos. Schnapp hinted that his character's journey finds resolution here, closing a chapter that began with trauma and isolation. Meanwhile, the Duffer Brothers promise that this final season will deliver not only massive spectacle, but genuine heart. The scale is bigger, the stakes higher, but at its core, Stranger Things remains a story about human connection in the face of the impossible. Behind the scenes, every detail of this farewell has been crafted with care. Netflix confirmed that Stranger Things Season 5 will be split into 2 volumes, with Volume 1 premiering November 26th. Each episode will reportedly run longer than before, blurring the line between series and cinema. The Duffers have teased emotional callbacks to the earliest episodes, revisiting key moments that shaped the show's mythology. From Eleven's origins to the mysteries of the Upside Down, fans can expect familiar faces, shocking twists, and perhaps even redemption for characters who've struggled along the way. This season isn't just a finale, it's a full-circle celebration of everything Stranger Things stood for. Courage, friendship, and the magic of believing in something bigger than yourself. From an analytical standpoint, the emotional resonance of Stranger Things lies in how art and life have evolved together. These actors were children when the show began, facing on-screen monsters while confronting the pressures of real-world fame. That dual journey, fictional and personal, gives this finale a rare authenticity. The story has always been about the fear of growing up and the loss of innocence. And now, both cast and characters must face that in reality. For Netflix, this marks the end of an era, the conclusion of one of its defining original series. Spin-offs and new stories may follow, but the core of Stranger Things will remain a moment in television history that captured the world's imagination and held onto it for nearly a decade. As the countdown to November 26 draws closer, emotions are running high. Fans around the world are preparing for the final descent into the Upside Down, knowing that this time, the stakes are personal. For Noah Schnapp, it's a farewell to a role that defined his youth. For viewers, it's the end of a story that defined a generation. It's hard to let go, Schnapp said, and perhaps that's the truest sentiment of all. Stranger Things was never just about monsters or mysteries. It was about the beauty of connection in a dark, unpredictable world. And when the credits roll for the final time, one truth will remain. Some stories don't end. They just live on in the hearts of those who believed in them.